story time. Oh my goodness. I have never done a story time on my channel, but I really like story times for some reason. Like, I like watching other people do theirs, especially people that's really good at telling stories. You know? I'm going to like do my makeup and tell you guys about the time I almost wasn't allowed on my cruise. Goodness gracious. So before we start this story, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. And so let's give a little backstory. So it was the summertime, right? And during this time I had back-to-back trips. Now this was like my first time really doing back-to-back vacations. And it wasn't really even planned that way. It was kind of like one thing was already scheduled and then another opportunity came up and was like, oh, I cannot let this opportunity go by. So I ended up like literally being on a plane, going to one place, coming back for like 2 days, getting on another plane, going to my next location, okay? So yeah, I had been in Texas for about a week, I believe. I have vlogs. I vlogged all this time, but I didn't vlog the part where I was angry because I was like, this could like all blow up in my face. So if it goes well and it all gets fixed, then I guess I can vlog it. But I mean, I was mad. Okay. So I was in Texas for a week and I had, you know, packed everything for Texas, and Texas was wonderful experience, great opportunity. So I was on my way back and, you know, I'm on my flight or whatever, and I'm thinking of different things in my head that like when I get home, like you got to make sure you pack these things, you know, you trying to like go over a list in your head. So I'm back and we're resting pretty much that first day when we get back. It's like not doing a lot of stuff. I tried to pack majority of my stuff like while I had it in my mind, like, you know, switching out stuff and switching stuff around, stuff like that. So we get everything packed, we put it in the car, and we're headed to my aunt's house. So we get to my aunt's house, we lay down for a little bit, you know, trying to relax a little bit before it's time to go. I'm thinking of everything in my head. I'm like, I got everything. I had to make sure my mom had everything that she needed, because she was asking me a few times, like, do I got this? Do I got this? Do I got that? And I felt confident in my packing abilities. I was like, oh, I got everything. I knew in my head what I had. Woo. We're heading to the airport. Woo. And we running a little late. I can't even tell you why we running late. But when I say late, I mean like, you know how they tell you to be there 2 hours early. We was running a little bit into that time. That's what type of late I mean. Not like we was like, oh, we gonna miss our flight late. It wasn't that type of thing. So we're at the airport, right? And we're like a few minutes from it. So we're driving, and everybody's just talking, and like, you know, you just hear a bunch of outside noise, and I'm just in my head just thinking, trying to relax. I'm tired. There's a bunch of things. So then it hits me, and I'm like out of nowhere, literally everybody having their own private conversations, I was like, I forgot my passport. And everybody in the car got quiet. It was dead quiet, and it was like, what the heck do you do? So with this cruise that we were going on, because it was a family vacation cruise, with the cruise, you needed either your passport or your driver's license and your birth certificate. So my aunt was like, well, you got your driver's license, right? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, but I don't have my birth certificate. Like, I don't carry my birth certificate on me. And I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I've spoken to people since I got back, and they was like, yeah, everybody carries their birth certificate on them. I'm like, everybody? Because I don't. I've never carried my birth certificate. So I'm like, I don't have that though. And then she's like, oh my goodness, like, and everybody's just quiet. It's like that awkward quiet. And like, now I'm in my head, I'm like, bro, like, I'm not gonna be able to get on this cruise. So my other aunt was already at the airport, so my mom calls her and she's like, hey, can you figure out something, because Trisha left her passport at home. And my aunt was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? And so my mom was like, no, she left her passport. Oh, goodness. She's like, no, she left her passport. And I'm like panicking in my head, but I'm trying not to trip because before we even got everything and was headed there, they made us like send in like upload like all the information onto their website, like our passport number, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I had did all of that stuff already. So I'm like, they gonna be like, oh, we got that, she's fine, she can come. So my aunt gets off the phone with them, calls us back, and she's like, they're like, no, like she needs one or the other. So I'm looking at this time. We probably got like an hour and 20 minutes left before the flight is to take off. So I'm like, well, maybe I can catch an Uber back home. Or no, I was like, that's gonna cost too much money. I was like, maybe I can catch an Uber from the airport to my aunt's house, hop in my mom's car, and drive back to my house and get my passport. And I'm like, yeah, that would make so much sense. You know, I can do that. And then everybody's like, girl, it's an hour and 20 minutes before this flight take off. You're not going to be back in time. Like, ain't no way you're going to be able to do all that and be back in time. So now I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm just like, nobody is thinking of suggestions. Like, you know, when you pissed off and nobody around you has any creative suggestions at all. So I'm like, well, what do I do? I'm going to be out of money. I'm not going to be able to board. Like, I was so mad. And nobody is saying nothing because everybody is like, I don't know. So at this point, I'm like, okay, let me get in here. Let me go through airport security and get everything checked. And I was like, let me see if I can ask, is it a way that I can move my flight around? And so I asked the lady, and the lady was like, you know what? We're actually looking to take one person off of this flight because we kind of overbooked and put them on the next flight. So you can do that, and then you can go back home and get what you need. And I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you so much, thank you so much. So I was like, when is the next flight? And she was like, it would be no charge of me because, you know, they overbooked or whatever they did, which I don't know how you overbook for a flight. I really don't understand it. But I was happy with it. I was like, I don't really care. So I was like, you know, when is the next flight? So then I think the next flight would have been like 11 or not, or whatever the time was. Like, I promise y'all I don't remember the exact time, but whatever the time was, I was geeked. So I went over there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna run home, I'm gonna get what I need to get, and I'm gonna be back for the next flight. And then they was like, well, when does that flight land? So now I went back and I asked the lady, when does the flight land or whatever. And then she was like, oh, it lands at like 5 or 4:30, whatever the time was. The cruise ship left the dock at 4. So I was like, if I go back for my passport, when I come back, the cruise ship will be gone. So I'm like, bro, like, okay, well, maybe I can get somebody to go to my house and get my passport. And I'm like calling everybody, and then I'm like, hold up, ain't nobody even got a key to my place. So like, how are they gonna get in? At this point, somebody gonna have to break in, because it's either I get my passport or I'm out of like $2,000, and that's dead. That's like completely dead. So I'm calling all my friends that I think have some type of illegal background, no shade, no tea. I'm blowing their phones up, and it's early in the morning. It's like 6:30. Nobody is answering their phone. Like, I promise you, I was getting heated. I was like, where are you guys when I need you? Answer your phone. I was like, he definitely looked like he could break into my house. So then he finally answers the phone, and he like sound like he out of it. Like, he sound like, I'm like, yo, he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, yo, I need you to go break into my house.
He like, break in your house?
I was like, look, because my uncle is a state trooper. So they had asked my uncle to get a security guard or a police officer or whatever, police officer, to be at my house so that when whoever broke into my house, nobody called the cops on them. So like the cops are already sitting out there. I was like, look, the cops will already be sitting out there. I just need to go break in my house, get my passport, and bring it to me. And, or take a picture or something, because the lady had said if I can even get a picture of it and print the picture out, they'll let that go. But I didn't have nothing. So, my cousin was like, break in. All right. Let me see. All right. So I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, maybe he can break in, maybe he can't. Just in case he couldn't break in the house, I need backup breaker-ins. I need backup people that can break in if this person cannot break in, you know, because, like, I need my passport. Because in my mind, I was like, if I don't get the passport, I'm gonna take this flight to Florida and be out of luck. And I'm going to have to either book a hotel or Airbnb or something to sit in Florida until it's time for me to go back to Chicago, because I had already booked the flight going and coming. I booked the two-way flight. So I'm like, bruh, like, something needs to work out. So he knocking at the door, which I honestly don't know why he thought to knock at the door, because I'm like, if somebody was breaking in, you think you just gonna meet the robbers at the door and be like, what's good? So my aunt had got in, right? My aunt had got in. It's like I told y'all. I know you like, well, I thought you said your cousin was gonna break in. When I tell you we had multiple people prepared to break into this house, I was like, really, whoever get there first and whoever can break in the fastest. It was like a game, really. Like, whoever can get there and break in the quickest, you the winner. So, my aunt was in there, right? And we on the flight. I don't know nothing that's happening. In my mind, nobody at my house, nobody did nothing. Nobody is even woke, honestly. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking is going on. So then my aunt had got in and she's looking for my passport. I told her exactly where it was at. My aunt gets my passport, takes a picture, sends it to me, leaves. I'm on a flight, so I can't see it. Literally, I look at the passport and I'm like, what the heck is this? I don't know what picture she took, but it was not what I told her to take. So I'm like, bro, she couldn't find the passport number, and I didn't really know what page it was in, because I wasn't like, I'm like, at this point I was ready to tell her to take a picture of every single page and send it to me, but it was not working out. So I was like, you know what? Find my birth certificate. My mom was like, find her birth certificate is in such and such and such. Get that and take a picture of that and send that to us. So my aunt was like, okay. My aunt goes to get the birth certificate and she's like, it's not there. What do you mean? What? I'm in Florida at this point. I've landed. I'm getting my bags. They have been checked. No, I'm getting them from the little luggage thing. And at this point, my other cousin that was there with me, he's like, don't even trip. Like, you're good. Like, they in your house. Like, you know, you gonna be able to board the flight. Board the cruise. And I'm like, bruh. And he's like, started cracking jokes. Like, this is funny, man. Like, this gonna be a funny story later. And I look at him and I'm like, this ain't funny yet, because we ain't got my stuff and she can't find it. Like, that ain't funny. And he like, well, we know it's in your house. And let me just tell you how black people are. At this point, everybody in my family is low-key kind of cracking jokes like, you forgot your passport. Like, we broke in your house. Like, and I'm just like, bro, like, this, we ain't got it yet. We ain't got nothing yet. At this point, all y'all getting on the cruise, and I'm going to be at Motel 8. Like, at this point. We on the phone with my aunt giving her instructions, da-da-da-da. So then she's like, oh, I found it. Boom, she found it. It was in the same place the whole time. Let's tell you that. So she finds it. She sends the picture. And the picture, black. What am I going to do with this? Okay? Who sends somebody a dark photo? So she finally sends the right picture. So we got the picture, and I'm like, all right, it's on my phone. And then they was like, that may be able to work. May? Like, lady, I ain't got time. I really don't. Am I gonna be able to board this cruise? Stop playing with me. And then somebody had got on the phone and was like, well, since she signed up with her passport, it may be an issue with her boarding with just her birth certificate and her license. And I'm like, but they said you could have either or. But I guess in the initial phases when I signed up for it, I used my passport. They're like, it may be an issue to switch, which I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's still identification. It's me. Boom. Like, come on. Leave out the airport. We finna catch like this bus type thing, and everybody finna get on it and head to the cruise. Right before we finna get on it, they I guess my aunt was on the phone with them, and they was like, oh, she needs to have it printed out. She can't have it on her phone. Bruh, what? Why are y'all playing games with me? So it was like a little hotel or something in the airport. It was something in the airport, okay? And my mom had saw it. So my mom and my aunt ran back to that and asked them could they print it off of the phone. So they printed off the phone for us. Just when everybody cool, coast. And I'm still a little nervous because I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking about what the lady said about, you know, like it may be an issue because I signed up initially with my passport. But they had spoke to someone else on the phone that said, no, it'll be fine as long as it's identification. So I'm just like, who is running this cruise ship? Who are these black people that keep telling people, like, you? Who are you? Who are you? Let me talk to you for a minute, because I'ma just need my money back. Cause at this point I don't even want to go. I'm feeling like I'm gonna get up here, the lady gonna look at my stuff and be like, excuse me, say what? Because it was already people that was like coming in the line and then turning around, coming back out. They like, oh my goodness. She looks at me, she scans my stuff, and she waits, and she don't say nothing. Other people getting scanned, they going through, she like scrolling through whatever on her stuff, and I'm sitting up there like, bruh. My mom is behind me, like, like it felt like, you know, it felt like we had did something illegal, and like we like made up a fake birth certificate or something. That's what it felt like. And we was sitting there waiting to see if the fake birth certificate was gonna let us in. Like, that's what it felt like. So I'm just standing there, I'm waiting. Okay. So then she's like, all right, go ahead. And I'm like, go. I can go through. I'm on the cruise. Is that what you're saying? Like, come through to the cruise? You guys, so that was the story about the time that I almost missed my cruise. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm new at these story times, so I know I was a little bit all over the place a little bit, but they will get better. Am I orange? Am I orange? Okay, you guys, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, if you want to know how the rest of that cruise actually turned out, I did vlog it once I was in a better mood, and I will have that linked below. Like I said in the beginning, I hope you guys are subscribing. Like, let me say this, I know you guys are subscribing, so let me stop there. And I appreciate all the subscribers I got so far, so keep doing that. Make sure you like, comment, and share this video as well, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Peace.